Hi, everybody. I'm hoping you're doing well. I'm just going to wait for 1 second to see if everybody just signs on. Okay. Okay. I think that should be what we could get for now. Hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Peggy Sideratos. I am a former teacher and the author of the Light Giver Stories books, The Light Giver and Other Stories to Raise Emotionally Healthy Children, and the Light Giver Stories workbook, which are children's stories and lessons to help um, kids cope with difficult emotions, addresses topics like that, and that also help to build their character, good character traits. So the last time I was on for a live, which was about 2 weeks ago, I started doing a live talking about strategies that can help children better handle emotional stress. And as a matter of fact, I give this away. So if you didn't get the first video, you can watch it on my website, on Facebook, or on YouTube or Rumble. My Rumble and YouTube channel are the Light Giver Stories. I am the Light Giver on Facebook, and my website is www.thelightgiverstories.com. So during my former broadcast, I touched upon the first three strategies to help children better handle emotional stress. And today I want to go a little bit further. So this is kind of like part two. Um, I'm just going to recap really, really briefly on what the first three were. And again, you can get a free copy of this report from my website, www.thelightgiverstories.com. When I'm done with this video, I'll pop a link on the bottom so that you can go to it easily. So if you didn't see the first video, you can watch the first video on my channels, and or you could just go over to the website to get it. So the first three strategies that I discussed for helping children better handle emotional stress were number one, breathing. Just teaching kids to deep breathe, which sounds very simple and contrite, but has an enormous benefit to bringing down their heart rate and getting their mind shifted from whatever that emotion is, whether it be panic, whether it be fear, whether it be anxiety, and just helping to calm them down. The second strategy that I discussed was helping kids to better identify their emotions and the causes behind them. Because once we kind of help children to identify the cause and they come to some sort of understanding, once they recognize the emotion, it's going to help them also make better decisions. And it also helps kids with relationships. They'll start to identify these emotions in other people. It gives you more compassion, more understanding. Um, so I'm not going to go into that too much again because I already discussed it. And then the third one that I discussed the last time was practicing active listening and empathy. So when the child does come to you, when you see the child having an issue and they're starting to talk about it, listening with attention, um, going back to them and rephrasing what they've spoken to you about, helping them to be heard, to know that somebody understands, and maybe even trying to relate from your own personal experiences things that have happened in your own life that you were able to get through that might be beneficial to them. All right, so today I'm going to go through the next couple of strategies. And um, the next one I'm going to talk about is helping kids by reviewing helpful coping strategies ahead of time. So a lot of times it's at that moment when the kid is upset or crying or um, going through whatever difficulty that they are going through that we try to help them. But if we kind of go over a list of coping strategies, some things that might be able to help them ahead of time, this could be really beneficial. In fact, I would recommend even making a list ahead of time with your kid of things that they could do to help themselves during a crisis, during that time when they're feeling the stress, the emotion, the anger, the frustration. And different things are going to work for different children, right? And different things are going to work at specific times, right? So something that might need a more immediate response might need to have a different strategy than something that maybe something the child will be dealing with for an extended period of time. So it's always good to have kind of like a little bank, a little list of strategies and go over them ahead of time. So what could these be? Aside from the breathing, which is a wonderful, easy, quick thing to go to. Um, it depends on the child. It depends on the time. Perhaps your child is a more active child, right? Maybe he's more hyperactive or active child. So maybe their strategies might be something like running in place, doing a couple of jumping jacks, putting on some music and dancing and just kind of like shaking it out, going for a bike ride, going for a walk or a run or a hike, something that kind of gets some of that energy or maybe nervous energy out. For other kids or for other moments, a more calming strategy might be better. Listening to calming music, taking deep breaths, having a drink of cold water really does something. Reading a book or a magazine, taking a shower, blowing bubbles, taking a bubble bath, hugging a stuffed animal, or spending time with nature outside or going outside, just breathing some fresh air. For other kids, they may need a more creative outlet, drawing a picture, writing a poem, making up a song, playing an instrument, journaling, writing about their thoughts and feelings, or they may need something a little bit more tangible, playing with Play-Doh. Some kids like to squeeze one of those little like stress balls. So even creating a new game, something that might be a little bit more exciting for them. Other kids might want something that is more interactive with people. So playing a game with family, calling a friend, cuddling up with a pet. I don't know if many of you know, but I have my favorite dog is my dog named Junior, who works like a charm for me. And when I'm stressed, he is my best stress remover. I just sit and pet my dog, and it doesn't make the problems go away, but it just makes you feel better. And I'm going to apologize right now because my gardener just came outside my door. So if you hear some noise in the background, please understand this wasn't planned. But that's life. So I'm just going to deal and use some of my coping strategies to deal with it as well. Um, so basically, what you want to do is try to help get the kids' mindset somewhere else. And so I have a couple of coping strategies that I use and I have in my Light Giver Stories workbook. You might want to go back to my previous videos. I have something called the happiness board, which is a great mind and mood shifter for kids to create. Very simple. The video is on my website, and it's also on YouTube, the Light Giver Stories, or the lightgiverstories.com. You can go and see it. That's a great mood shifter. And also in my workbook, I have another mood shifter called the treasure chest. I haven't done a video on that one yet, but who knows, I might be doing it. For those of you who have bought the book and maybe have used it, let me know what you think. So there's these different things that we could use. And what's good is, like I said, make a list ahead of time or go over some ahead of time. And even when your kid is having, whether it be that meltdown or the temper tantrum or whatever it is, that moment when they're going through that stress, you can also remind them of some of the coping strategies that they have used in the past. Remember the time when you were upset about this and you did this and it helped you feel better? Do you think that might help you feel better now? Or even maybe give them an idea of yours. It may not work. Maybe it doesn't work for them, but for some kids, it might be just a trick. Oh, when I'm upset, I like to read a story, or I like to talk to a friend on the phone, or I like to listen to music. So you can find your ideas and share them with the kids, or have them come up with creative ones on their own. Um, and basically, the next thing I'm going to go to is don't rush to fix it. It is in our innate nature to want to help kids, especially when they're struggling. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with trying to fix certain things. But there are times when we need to help them kind of get to fixing it themselves rather than just do it ourselves for them. Of course, we have to also speak about what's age appropriate. So sometimes instead of telling them the solution to their problem, even once they're calmed down, start asking them specific questions like, how do you think you should handle? How do you think you can handle this situation? Um, what might make you feel better? And give them some time, because sometimes they may need a few minutes, sometimes they may need 20 minutes, half an hour, to come up with some ideas. Sometimes they'll have some right off the top of their head. Some will be good, some might not be. And that's the job of you as the adult to kind of guide them and say, well, I don't know if that's the best idea. I can see why you might have thought of this. And then try to say, maybe we can come up with something that might be a little bit better, rather than saying, no, it's out of the question. Kind of guide them along. And if there's consequences that might come out of that situation or their idea, and say, well, you know, I know you thought that this might be a good solution, but here's why this might not be. And kind of give them an idea, because the human brain has not been fully developed till the age of 25 to know consequences. So a lot of times kids will come up with stuff and you'll say, well, didn't you think that this might happen if you do this? And the answer is no. No, they didn't. So it's really important that we give kids the opportunity to try and solve some of their issues, um, and to help build their own confidence. And also, it helps to allow their decision skills to strengthen. Um, we want them to stretch and grow. We want them to come up with their own solutions whenever possible, because that's what we're training them to do. We're training them for adulthood. We're not always going to be there to give the solution. We are not, maybe we're not going to be where they are, whether it be in school, or maybe it's going to be later on in their lives. So what we're doing is we're training them, we're guiding them to kind of come up with their own things. And I'm guilty of it too, right? As a teacher, it would be so hard when I would see a kid struggling, right? I just would want to fix it. They're trying to read a word and they're trying to sound it out or figure it out using the rest of the sentence, right? I mean, when I first started teaching, my immediate thing was like, oh, just tell them the word, right? So that they can move along. Um, but I had to learn to give them some time. And then if they were really stuck, right? If they were trying and they were really stuck, they would look to me and they'd say like, I can't figure this one out. And then I would kind of give them a hint or give them the word. It's really hard sometimes because it's our natural thing to want to fix and help them. But sometimes we just have to give them the time. Okay, my next one, number 6, is don't quickly dismiss their emotions or issues. And this, I believe, is something that I've addressed in previous videos as well. Kids don't have the amount of life experience that we do. And sometimes an issue that comes up for them seems so monumental, and for us it seems like no big deal. Oh, so and so said that they don't want to be my friend, and we're like, that's nothing, that happens all the time, don't worry about it, you don't need kids like that in your life. Well, no, these kids don't have that life experience. They don't know. This could be huge for them. And so we kind of have to help them work through it. And a lot of times it's not because we don't care. Sometimes, let's face facts, it's inconvenient. You're juggling 30 bags of groceries. You're trying to get a million things done. You're worrying about like really huge responsibilities that you have to take care of or work that you have to get done. You're cooking. Sometimes these things don't arise at the most opportune time. We'll tell the kid, I need a few minutes and I'm going to help you in like 10 minutes, and if I don't come, remind me, or give them that time. Give them that eye contact. Let them know that you're here for them. And even if it seems small, remember, for them, it could be huge. So just don't quickly dismiss it as no big deal. And my last one, number 7, is set the example. If you want your kids to better handle their emotions, well, you better be prepared to be a good model for them. If you're blowing off the handle because you can't find your keys or you're stuck in traffic, you're not setting a good example. Kids learn more by what they see and hear being done around them by the people in their lives than just what we tell them. We could say to them, hey, it's not good to lose your temper and get mad and yell. But if we're doing that, guess what? That's what the kid is going to learn. Okay. So maybe when you're stuck in traffic or looking for your keys or can't find something else that you're looking for, whatever it is that you're stressed out, point it out to the kids like, oh, you know what? I'm really upset right now because I can't find this and I'm getting a little stressed, but you know what? I'm going to use one of my strategies. I'm going to count backwards from 10. I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths. If I'm stuck in traffic and I'm running late and I'm nervous, I can't change the traffic by getting angry. So I'm going to sing a song. I'm going to blast my radio and sing some song and just make myself feel better. Show them, model it for them, and point it out to them every once in a while so that they could see, oh, yeah, you know what? My parent or my grandparent or my aunt, my uncle, my godfather, whoever it is that's in front of them, they practice what they preach. This really works because they're using it. So, and not only this also gives the opportunity for the kids to show empathy towards you, right? If you're stressed out and you're sharing with them, I'm stressed because of this, it gives the kids the opportunity to practice empathy and try to give you comfort. Um, and that will also help strengthen your relationship with them. So I hope these tips have helped you. Again, if you want to get all 7 of the strategies that I've discussed on my first video and on this video, please go to my website, www.thelightgiverstories.com, the first page down at the bottom, and just click for the free report. Also, if you go to my website, I give away 2 free children's stories from The Light Giver and other stories to raise emotionally healthy children, and 2 free lessons from the Light Giver Stories workbook. I'm going to also remind people, if you have read my books, if you do have them and you like them, please write me a nice little review on Amazon. If you have any questions about these strategies or any other things, please feel free to message me, email me at Peggy, Peggy, at thelightgiverstories.com. I'll gladly get back to you as soon as possible. And please like this. If you are watching me on Facebook, please like my page. If you are watching it on YouTube, like my page and subscribe. And before I go, I just want to say, I always end with this, be a light giver in any way that you can. Every single one of us is a light giver. We have gifts, we have talents, we have all these beautiful things that make us uniquely us to share with the world. Our love, our kindness, our generosity of spirit. So I'm going to say to you, please be a light giver and share your light with other people. Find some way to be a blessing to other people. It is my goal in life to try and be the best possible light giver I can. Um, and one of the reasons I wrote my books is just that. I want to help as many children as possible. When I was younger, I faced some difficulties due to bullying and how it affected my self-esteem, and I carried it into my adulthood. And when I learned certain things and realized certain strategies, I made it my mission to help as many children as possible. And that's exactly what all this is about. Um, Even a percentage of the proceeds from my book sales go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital because my love and my passion is children. So please be a light giver, spread your light, and please, if you like this video, please share it with as many people as possible. And I want to thank all those who have shared my previous videos. I am so grateful. Thank you so much. I love you all so much. I hope you all have a blessed day. And today's the first day of October. Have a beautiful, blessed October. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. Bye.